Oh my goodness gracious, I can't believe they just openly admitted this.
Who was born in America, who went to P. Diddy freak-offs, who hates white people the most.
Jay, that should have been both of them. They weren't honest on that one. All of this, as there's another focus online about a very other prominent African-American female, which isn't pictured here or doesn't exist here, some people would say. And that, of course, is Candace Owens. As some people are saying, she's breaking the internet. Some people love her, some people hate her, as she has now come out with a new challenge against TPUSA. Now, I have some insight into this since I'm literally volunteering at Timcast that's doing shows at TPUSA. I talked to some of the people there. I'm going to get into some of this insight. A lot of people are saying what Candace is doing is either one, extremely important, very vital, and more important than ever in order to make sure that nothing like what happened to Charlie ever happens again. And then on the other side, people are saying what she's doing is disingenuous, disgusting, clickbaiting, and doing it as a way to garner as much attention as she can for pure either attention or monetary grifts. Now, which one do you believe is true? We're going to examine that and take a look at this kind of very interesting conversation that's happening right now as Candace Owens has come out and made some very interesting accusations based off some new text messages that have allegedly come from TPUSA. Now, are they coming from TPUSA or not? Are they verified or are they not? We're going to get into it. We're going to play the clip. There's also other people being finger pointed here that are responding. And I think all of this is a big old drama mess, and we're going to get into that in this particular video. And if you like these types of videos, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time you spend with us. Now, the video that we played in the beginning of this broadcast looks like it was made by @ImMemeO. Really, absolutely, it gets even more salacious. I couldn't play it, but shouts out to them because it was really funny. Obviously, it's a fake AI video with doctored audio, but clearly there are a lot of conspiracies revolving the Obamas. Some of them are probably true, some of them are ridiculous, but they are, I would say, a controversial couple. Another controversial person is Candace Owens, as Morgan Ariel came out and says, "I stand with Candace Owens and fully support her ongoing investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk." Quote, "Do you?" As another individual, another person that I know, the Quartering says, quote, "Nobody is doing more damage to the anti-Israel movement than Candace Owens. She has systematically made them all look like insane morons." Charlie wrote about combating anti-Semitism in his letter. Funding Candace would be a great way for Israel to do that. I don't know, but I know. Now, again, this whole form of debate, I think, is very toxic. For me personally, like, I just want to take a step back. I even feel uncomfortable talking about this, right? And I talk about the craziest things in the world, but I know all the people that I just mentioned, I've known and I had personal interactions with. So it's like, okay, like, family, can we stop fighting? Can we get our ducks in a row? Can we just focus here and not try to fight and attack each other? And I remember, just a few hours, even a few days, there were many prominent people after Charlie got shot where people were just attacking each other viciously. And I'm like, can we just wait 1 week, right? This is all so tiresome. This is also so just exhausting. Now, listen, my personal take on it is I support the questioning of everything, and I don't think there's any kind of stupid or ridiculous questions, but there have been some stupid questions, right? Right. Now, there have been some stupid speculative stuff, underground tunnels, teasing, waiting, that I'm not the biggest fan of, to be quite honest, right? Now, does that mean that the questions are automatically invalid because of that? I think some of them are invalid because they're just not logical. The other ones, though, I think are worth investigating, looking into, and we're reaching a point where, like, reality is stranger than fiction, right? A lot of people don't have a lot of trust within the government, and the government kind of put that on themselves, right? Especially when it comes to the Epstein stuff, right? Like, come on, really? Like, tell me to never trust the government ever again without telling me to ever trust the government again by covering up the Jeffrey Epstein files. And when we know horrible, awful things happen to kids and babies, and the government just protects it and aids it and abets it and still continues to do so, that we're living in a reality where they deserve to be questioned fully. So, do I disagree with some of the methods and some of the questions that Candace is doing? No. Do I think it's important that she asks the questions? Yes. Do I agree with some of the assertions? My initial stance is I need proof, I need evidence, and I need more of a documented proof here. Now, Candace came out and talked about new text messages that she received. And then after these text messages, she talked about giving a full, all-out challenge to TPUSA executives. Now, this is regarding the stance about Israel. There's also the BB letter. We'll get into the BB letter. The BB letter from Charlie, I was able to confirm is an actual letter. Talking to some of the people here from TPUSA. We'll get into that. Now, before talking about that and a lot more, before playing the Candace clips and playing everyone's kind of like hot and cold kind of reactions on all of this and giving you my kind of honest, earnest kind of insight into a lot of this, I wanted to tell you about thebestpoliticalshirts.com. A shirt store that likes to make you think, likes to make you find like-minded people and friends with shirts like the one I'm wearing right now that says America Run on Blackmail. I was walking in today, hanging out with the crew, and the crew's like, "Oh, I thought you were wearing a Duncan shirt. You really thought I would wear that?" You just type in blackmail right here into the shirt store, and it pops right up on the bestpoliticalshirts.com. We have it available in black. We have it available in white. We have short sleeves. We have long sleeves. We have women's tank tops. You name it. We got it. You just got to do a little bit of digging. Our store's a little bit of a cluster, I have to be quite honest with you. But after doing a little bit of digging, you're able to find a lot of the shirts. See, there you go. Boom. You're just able to find it. And look, we got the tank tops. We got the women's V-neck. We got random V-necks for the Guidos and the Guidettas. I like long sleeves, mainly because like I'm not a fan of sunscreen, and I'm in places usually with a lot of sun. I'm like, screw it, I'll just put on a hat and use my long sleeves. And then you go into a lot of these like crazy hot places, and then they like crank up the AC, and I'm like, all right, I'm cold now, put on the long sleeves. So it's just conventional for me. But some people like regular t-shirts, you name it. We all got it on the bestpoliticalshirts.com. It's a great way. Someone made a really awesome super chat last night on the Timcast show saying, I just got some of the shirts. I'm super excited to wear them. I'm super excited to see people's reaction to it. That's the real kind of joy here that I get from it, because once you see people, and again, sometimes people just ignore you, but the time when people are like, hey, high five, I love this, overwhelmingly positive reactions. I think I have one negative reaction throughout my 10 years of running this t-shirt store, wearing these t-shirts in public. One negative reaction. Out of all of those, lots of positive reactions, lots of really cool people that I got to know through wearing these shirts. And I hope that for you, and it probably will happen on the bestpoliticalshirts.com. Now, let's get back to this kind of major bombshell by Candace Owens that says Charlie was abandoning his pro-Jewish cause here. Now, again, this is an allegation that allegedly is met up by text messages that I would want at least some kind of like independent verification of like, okay, this is actually like, I think if there's other people involved here that are like, okay, let's actually see who it is. Let's see if this is an employee. Let's keep them anonymous, but let's see if they actually have the credentials, if they actually work here, if the text messages are real and legitimate. Let's actually find that out, because there also is a lot of disinformation. And when we look at a lot of the big kind of conspiracies that have always played out, there's always, and Cass Sunstein wrote about this in his own dissertations, which he denied when I publicly confronted him about this. He was Obama's disinformation czar, right? He was a major kind of secret society player, Harvard player. He was the swamp of the swamp, writing dissertations about how to plant false information, make people look crazy, infiltrate organizations like family members and rescue workers for 9/11 Truth that were infiltrated by crazy people, and then planting stories to make all these people look like they were just insane, deranged people by planting false stories, but planting half-truths and then leading people astray down different type of rabbit holes. And I believe we have seen multiple now psychological operations at play here that specifically are being utilized and used in order to dissuade a real, honest, legitimate conversation. Now, are they psyops or are they just crazy people? That's also a reality that we're dealing with right now, as now any type of crazy person has a voice and has an opinion and has an ability to reach people. And I think what we're seeing right now, because I think there's some good legitimate questions that need to be asked about what happened to Charlie Kirk. Why aren't we getting the video footage? Why are the text messages so weird? What are these type of kind of movements by him that just don't make kind of sense here? I think some of those questions are real and legitimate. Other ones about underground tunnels and trap doors, I think, are a little bit ridiculous. I think saying the security was in on it was a little bit ridiculous, especially with my understanding of the current situation here. I see a lot of people saying, no, it's Erica Kirk that was in on it. And I'm like, that's just ridiculous. And when you do push those ridiculous theories, you do push a lot of people who would normally naturally be on your side away from actually having a legitimate conversation. And again, I was shocked and surprised, being like, look, she's smiling in a video. And I'm like, she's dealing with tremendous amounts of trauma. Trauma has a weird way of reacting. I remember losing a lot of people that were very close to me. First thing I did, I worked my butt off because I'm like, I'm just trying to get my mind off of it, off of the pain, trauma, and suffering. And there's a different person when they're on camera and when they're off air. So those arguments I thought were ridiculous, but also, by being in this kind of frenzy and being more of a lunatic and being more accusatory without evidence, you push away anyone from legitimately asking these questions. And that's why I think it's important to have a middle ground where you're like, okay, let's actually get down to it. Let's actually ask for the evidence. Let's actually ask the hard, legitimate questions that are still there. And let's run the investigations. And let's do everything we can with public pressure in order to get more information so we actually find out what happened here. And let's investigate and look into everything. That's the proper approach. That approach is not being followed, right? An approach that is being followed right now is like, you're responsible. Look, he did a little thing here. He did a little hands. It was an exchange. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Erica Kirk's in on. I'm like, what are you doing? And again, that naturally just is the turd in the punch bowl. So there needs to be a little bit more decorum, in my opinion. But otherwise, yes, ask all the questions. More questions. Ask, am I skeptical of the government running this investigation? Yes. Can they release more information? Please, more. That should be the push here, not this person's crazy, this person did it. And I'm like, gosh, I'm just trying to get down to the truth here. Can we try to do that? Anyway, I'm digressing here. Here's the clip that's going viral from Candace Owens.
Executives to issue a very clean statement saying that I am lying if this is not true. About 48 hours before Charlie Kirk died, Charlie informed people at Turning Point, as well as Jewish donors and a rabbi, that he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause outright, okay? Charlie was done. He said it explicitly, that he refused to be bullied anymore by the Jewish donors. Can you guys answer? Did he express that? Did he also express that he wanted to bring me, Candace Owens, back because he was standing up for himself? And then did he, just 48 hours later, convene?
No. Who was he making these statements to, right? Who was he talking to? Those details are still missing, if these accusations are true. I want to know. This time he was talking to this person, he said this, right? Because otherwise, you're just kind of left a lot of people kind of filling in the gaps here. Now, I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm saying if you're going to make these allegations, I want a little bit more proof here.
Conveniently catch a bullet to the throat before our on-stage reunion could happen. It's a yes or a no, okay? Let's stop this ditching. Let's stop the dodging. Let's explicitly, I want to hear from Turning Point USA that I'm lying about that. I want you to say, no, it was just, he was feeling a little bit of pressure. No, I want you to literally answer what I have just said. It either happened or it didn't. I'm either making it all up or it happened exactly as I'm saying. And while we're at it, may I ask, what is the name of the Jewish donor who sponsored the Hampton?
And she's talking about the Hampton stuff. And obviously she's more centered around the country in the Middle East that the Trump administration is making it illegal to pretty much criticize in many ways, which also isn't helping the situation in my own personal opinion, which Charlie Kirk was even speaking out against. Now, Charlie Kirk had more of a nuanced perspective on this type of situation. Now, Bibi's letters came out. Bibi had a weird reaction to this, right? I think Bibi's statements were very weird. I thought it was very weird that Rabbi Shmuley was trying to fundraise off of this entire incident as well. That doesn't help the kind of perspective and picture here of everything that's kind of going on here. Now, we're seeing, text messages that were allegedly sent from someone here at TPUSA. Again, I want a third independent party to verify this. These are very serious accusations. If they're true, they should be taken very seriously, and there should be a third party that protects individuals but is able to verify information. As the quartering has his own take on this, and he says there are in fact not text messages from someone at TPUSA. These are the random ravings of an insane person. The person posting them did zero background checks and provided zero evidence they are affiliated with TPUSA at all. People, I am begging you, at least do the bare minimum. And this is what someone posted to Candace Owens. No, and here's a random text message. And again, where's the verification? Anyone can say anything. You don't believe anything. You don't believe anyone. Most people don't believe the government because the government hasn't given themselves any favors by making sure everyone mistrusts them now more than ever. And then there was also other accusations against other alleged mystery figures here, as Candace Owens talked about how there was a photo with a relative of a former Utah state representative, Phil Lyman.
Oddly.
Who she says the same relative posted photos and videos retracing the steps of Charlie's alleged assassin. And then his profile went sudden. And again, a lot of people's profiles are going private. A lot of the university professors and staff are also taking down a lot of their stuff because they're just being, according to them, targeted and harassed here. Now, she's talking about how there might be a connection here. Phil Lyman responded with almost an hour-long response to these accusations. People are saying that there's a Phil Lyman, George Zinn connection. This whole George Zinn story, now that is weird. That is the weirdest of the weird type of event that if as said as it is some kind of glitch in the matrix or some kind of simulation that proves we're in a holographic type of thing. Listen, strange things happen, right? And I'm not trying to downplay that. But man, this story of this guy who ran cover and tried to hurt police officers from catching the real culprit, who ran the biggest distraction effort. That right there is crazy. Now again, the quartering and other people are speaking out against Candace. Other people are saying, I support Candace. The health ranger says, the more aggressive they attack Candace Owens, the more you know she's, quote, over the target. Now, again, some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. It's a very divisive issue. Nick Fuentes, of all people, is coming out and attacking Candace Owens. They had a beef before this. That beef is only becoming more viral the more they keep fighting each other. And this is what Nick had to say about Candace.
Don't mess with me. I'll release the video. What is that cocky presentation? Who the fuck do you think you are? First of all, you're a fucking idiot, okay? Second of all, you worked for the Jews for 10 years. Third of all, you're not that smart.
This says now people are attacking Nick, saying, Nick, you work for the Jays. And I'm like it's like a weird world where I think a lot of us are just dysfunctional. I think a lot of us aren't perfect. A lot of us are dysfunctional. I think a lot of us need to just like calm down, not get emotionally involved here. I think there's more emotion than there is logic. And I would just ask, and it's going to fall on deaf ears. No one's going to listen. Take a step back. Take your ego out of it. Let's present some evidence. Let's present some hard questions. Let's verify some facts. Let's get some third-party investigators in here that are able to verify sources, that are able to verify leads, that are able to verify a lot of this. Let's have a full-on investigation and let the chips fall where they may. If you agree with that statement, share this video. I'm going to be here if it wasn't for you guys buying the t-shirts, supporting independent media. I can't thank you guys enough for doing that. And again, big donors, we don't got any of that. Big corporations, we don't got any of that. We have a sponsor like once a week now, if we're lucky. Yeah. Otherwise, get a t-shirt. And I appreciate everyone getting the t-shirt. I appreciate everyone supporting independent media. I wouldn't be here if it was for you guys doing that. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/weird.